Welcome to the Social Outcall, where we will be discussing certain topics with different genres as we go along with the series.
Yes, we will be travelling away to discuss different genres of the topics. This could be science, politics and entertainment.
That reminds me, I know this is our first episode and all that, and this is a new studio that we've got, but what exactly are we documenting today?
I thought you already knew.
Yeah, it was kind of on my phone all the time, so I wasn't really paying much attention. Sorry to the guys.
Today we'll be discussing a major topic which has given social media a massive impact in today's lives.
Is it Facebook Live?
No.
I got it. It's Instagram with the boomerang filter.
No, it's fake news.
Oh, yes, of course. Here's a full breakdown of what's happening with fake news today. I hope you enjoy.
Up next, we will be explaining what is fake news.
At 2:05, we will lay a short documentary about celebrity fake news, where Megan goes out and explains her career on Justin Bieber, which will then be followed with a discussion between me and Megan about celebrity fake news.
At 2:10, another documentary will be aired, but Sam will be going to discuss sports fake news, where he will be following the life of England football star Raheem Sterling.
Myself and Megan will be having another discussion on the setup that we got here about sport fake news, as we will discuss the career of Raheem Sterling there as well.
Now, we promised you we'd be discussing fake news. But what is it exactly? Now that he knows what we're talking about, Sam is over on our board to explain more. Sam?
So, fake news has been around for many years. So, as you can see for sure, this is an article that happened around 1940s of a bomb or torpedo in America. No one knows what happened to it. It was just general wind that it was on that day. It's happened more recently when it comes to politics. It's been brought up a hell of a lot when it comes to Donald Trump, as he promotes the word fake news a lot, saying CNN and all that stuff is very immature because it's fake news on a regular basis.
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you stay categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you stay
And there's other stuff that goes around with Russia, which, for example, it was an article I saw the other day about Russia threatening to bomb North Korea. That seems false to many people's eyes. But when you think about it, it's not just the politics side of things. It goes into different genres, so it goes to sport, for example, sport fake news, celebrity fake news, and also some stuff like science as well. Most of this fake news is spread from Eastern European countries to make money than the average person in that country. So for example, Eastern countries like Slovakia, Lithuania, Bosnia, they make around £16,000 a month, compared to around their countries a grand or so, in a certain amount of weeks. So how do we stop fake news in general if we just pan up to Bashir for a second? when you look at a website, consider the source of where the website is. Read throughout the article to see if it is real or not. Check who the author is, just to make sure it is a real person. Check all the dates online, see if it's recent or it's made from 2006, for example. And also as well, ask experts as soon as you can to see if it is real or not, because they are the most reliable people, as you know. It is primary research, of course. Back to you, Meg.
Now that we are done explaining the main problem, which is fake news, we're going to move on to our individual documentaries, where we follow someone's career, talk down about the controversies surrounding that person.
Which is going to start with Megan, which is going to be celebrity fake news. Whose career did you decide to follow in the end?
Today I'll be talking about Justin Bieber, as he's had many highs and lows in his career, especially with fake news.
I mostly hear it online, like YouTube and stuff, on channels like TMC and Hollywood Fix, so it's mainly on YouTube.
Probably on Facebook, with people sharing stuff from The Onion.
I see most fake news online, like YouTube or Instagram, all over social media. Sometimes I even come across certain websites and stuff,
Celebrity fake news has been around for many years. It's become a major topic in many lives. It circulated the lives of Rihanna, Michael Jackson, and even today, such as Kim Kardashian. It's surrounded by major social media outlets such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter.
There's loads really, but mainly rappers and stuff like Travis Scott and especially Justin Bieber, and there's pretty much every celebrity I can think of, but yeah, I'd say it's the ones who are doing loads of stuff now.
Probably any of the Kardashians or Jenners, because everyone wants to give in to the popularity that they have.
I recently hear a lot about Justin Bieber, as he's been through a lot of stuff, like he's faking a pregnancy test with his girlfriend or wife, and he's been there was a picture of him eating a burrito sideways. It was so weird, but yeah, I guess so.
But this star has made his fame through a certain platform called YouTube. Today I will be going through the life of Justin Bieber. He has a massive following on social media as well. He has 108 million followers on Instagram and 105.2 million on Twitter. 10 more accounts have more followers than him on Instagram, like Ariana Grande, Beyonce and Lionel Messi. And only Katy Perry and Obama has more than him on Twitter. Justin Bieber was discovered on YouTube after posting homemade videos in 2008. After meeting Usher by chance, he got signed to Island Def Jam. Justin Bieber was brought to fame back in 2008 through YouTube, where he created cover videos from his favourite artists. He was one to watch out for the future. His first video was Justin singing So Sick by Neo, which has nearly reached 9 million views as of April 2019. Throughout his life, Justin has always received hate from many people, whether that's people from the industry or from the fake news journalists. His breakthrough year in the music industry came in 2009, making songs like One Time, One Less Lonely Girl, First Dance. It was just getting better and better as the years go by, with his hit single Baby featuring Ludacris. It became a hit instantly at the start of 2010, hitting major records in the music industry and one of the most viewed videos on YouTube, also being disliked at the same time.
Personally, I've never been a fan of Justin Bieber, ever. Obviously, he's famously known for his music, but I've never been a fan of him.
He kind of looks like a homeless man, but he's trying to stay out of the news because he's sick of everything just backlashing all the time.
Not a big fan, but he has done some good songs, but I prefer, the hip-hop side of music, and he's more into the pop side, I think.
As he grew, the fans grew. A year after making one of his greatest hits, Bieber had his own movie released called Never Say Never, which documented his life up to the point and an exclusive look at his world tour, My World. It is the #1 in the best concept film of all time as of 2016. As the years went on, he had multiple singles released. Boyfriend was being a major one, where he collaborated with Mike Posner. It went on to break numerous personal records like Bieber's Peak, as he made his debut at #2 on the top 100 In 2013, the pop star visited Anne Frank's house and claimed that she would have been a believer. There was also an incident while in London where he was acting violent and swearing, where he was tracked across social media instantly. But in 2013 and 2014, Justin Bieber was hit with the news multiple times. He briefly announced his retirement from all sorts of music, but has returned to the industry since. Bieber was involved in a car accident that he had back in LA, which he compared to the incident to Princess Diana's car crash, which fatally killed her. Most of Bieber's career was spread around his relations with Selena Gomez. This handled between 2010 and 2018. They have a very detailed history together. While his relationship rumours were going on, Bieber reinvented himself in 2015 when he brought out an album, Purpose. It rocketed up the charts, reaching number 1 in the Billboard 200 album charts. Hits like What Do You Mean and Where Are You Now? It made history as he made number 1 in the Hot 100's 57-year history. Despite not releasing an album in 2017, Justin Bieber would not go away during this time. He stayed in the charts throughout the year as he looks to kickstart his career as the new king of pop. As Justin goes on in 2019, now in a relationship with the now Hailey Road Bieber, he plans to make more music soon, with a recent Instagram post saying the following: "Music is very important to me, but nothing comes before my family and my health. I will come with a kick-ass album ASAP." Despite struggling the last couple of years, Justin Bieber will always be in our hearts as one of the top performers to grace the music industry, and we wish his return would be sooner rather than later.
Well, that was a very interesting watch. It really shows the highs and lows of his career.
It's very captivating as he was one of the many celebrities to have fake news written about him. And it's just going to grow through social media.
It's very interesting because, like, throughout his career, he's had, like, highs and lows wherever he's gone. Like, when he had, like, the song Baby come out, it was one of the best songs on YouTube, for example.
Yeah, very popular.
And it was, with that, it was the most disliked video online. So it was kind of like, you know, is he good, is he not good? And then it took things too far then with stuff with, like, what you said about Anne Frank.
Yeah.
When, you know, he thought that she would be a believer if she was living today. It was like, what's all that about? Like, how do you see his career going, like, after all this stuff?
With his first songs, they were quite young fans, but his music now is more for, like, the older generation, I think.
Yeah.
It depends what his music next though, because there was a big change from his recent album compared to his old album.
The Purpose album was very good.
Yeah, it was very different, yeah.
After the break, we will be talking about sport fake news, which will be around Raheem Sterling, of how controversial his career has been as a footballer. We'll see you within 5 minutes. Welcome back to the Social Outcall.
Now, football has had its fair share of controversy in the last couple of years. Who could forget England's World Cup being destroyed by a disallowed goal?
Classic.
Oh, when Swansea City got regulated from Premier League.
Yeah, alright, that's enough of that now. Yeah, one thing that never disappears from football is the newspapers. The newspapers is a completely different engine. It's always targeted main football stars over the last couple of years. One of these people that I followed recently is England football star Raheem Sterling. On his career, on how he's had highs and lows when it comes to the media portraying him as a very bad person. Here's my documentary. Enjoy. For many years, football has become one of the focal points around the UK. Especially where I'm from, Swansea. It has its fame for being one of the most well-renowned sports in the world. One of these players, which is currently playing the football of his career, is England forward Raheem Sterling, who has been heavily criticised in the last couple of years about the stories made about him.
I feel like him getting a tattoo that sports something that shouldn't be supported at all is dumb, and I feel like as he's a sports star and an inspiration to children, he should have waited until he's out of the spotlight to, if he really wants that tattoo and he really wanted it that badly. I mean, you
can't stop him from doing anything, but I feel like, in the position he's in right now, he shouldn't have.
I feel positively and negatively about Raheem Sterling because, for one, he had that leg tattoo. It symbolises violence and everything, which isn't good to promote. And then I also feel positively about him because he always fights back against racism and stuff, and he stands out from other players in his team and across like the whole Premier League because no one really talks about it.
Raheem Sterling was born in 1994, being raised in Jamaica where his father was murdered when he was 2 years old. Sterling would then move over to London 5 years later. He would later join the academy of Queen's Park Rangers, where he would gain fame for how talented he was, most famously being involved with Soccer AM for their skills schools. He was fast-paced, he had good dribbling, and he was a decent goal scorer while going through the ranks of Queen's Park Rangers. In 2010, he would later join Liverpool for around £600,000, which would raise up to $5 million depending on how many games he would play for the Reds. He would go on and score his first league goal for Liverpool, becoming the second youngest scorer of all time, in a 1-0 win against Reading Football Club. He became part of the famous SAS connection, which involved Luis Suarez, Daniel Sturridge and himself, Raheem Sterling, leading the front line as Liverpool were inches away from their first Premier League title. Following that season, Suarez was biting people's arms, Sturridge was injured more than before, and Raheem Sterling was the new front man for Liverpool. When that season came along, it was a disappointing season for him. He was getting criticism everywhere, especially from the Sun, saying that he was too tired to play for his nation. That was quoted by Roy Hodgson, the manager at the time.
What I can say to these fans is that's not me at all. Money is not everything in my life. My mum been there for me throughout my life. My obviously daughter now, which is 2 going on 3, and these people to me mean everything to me. I don't want to be perceived as a money grabbing 20-year-old. I just want to be seen as the kid that loves to play football.
Despite this, he would leave Liverpool for a club record transfer to Manchester City for £50 million. This is where he would get more heat than ever before. As he joined the club, he was given more criticism, saying that he's not even worth 20 million, which was wise words at the time for a young English talent.
People like Raheem Sterling, 50 million, 50 quid.
He was in and out of the team at the time and eventually got injured at the end of the season. After a disappointing Euro 2016 where they've just lost to Iceland and it has captioned the worst England team in the last 40 years.
Well, that was the worst performance I've ever seen from an England team, ever.
Pep Guardiola took over at Manchester City and he redeveloped Sterling as his own creation, getting praise and giving out donations all over the place, making him a new person as he goes along. He had a decent season at Manchester City, scoring hat-tricks against teams such as Bournemouth and being crucial games against like Liverpool and Manchester United. But at the end of the season, when the Manchester terror attacks occurred and the Grenfell Tower went into flames, Sterling would donate a substantial amount of money to those affected by the cause, making him good praise around the UK and in the footballing world. After this became the season of his career, goal after goal, assist after assist, and trophy after trophy. Manchester City conquered England in the 2017-18 season, with Sterling being a big involvement in brackets, the best Premier League team ever.
I destroyed football like you destroyed the Premier League. Like you destroyed the Premier League this season. And the people are still saying that team, Pep, how it is. Right, left, right. Inside, outside, let the pitch. How good it is. That is tough.
Sterling had come off this brewing ahead for England. It would not come without controversy, of course. This was posted by The Sun, an AK-47 on Raheem Sterling's leg. A leg of a professional footballer, and he was presumed to be promoting gun violence at the time in the UK, as crimes such as knife crime and gun crime has gone up a hell of a lot in the last couple of years. TV shows such as Good Morning Britain and BBC Breakfast went crazy about the situation. On social media was stupendous on the situation about why did Sterling have a tattoo on his leg. But the World Cup was a fortnight away. and this was circulating that he would not be in the World Cup squad for the 2018 World Cup. Angry protesters began to hate on Raheem Sterling because of the tattoo, one suggesting he should be banished from the squad immediately. But the truth is, it is something to do close to his heart. As I mentioned at the beginning of this documentary, his father passed away when he was 2 years old. Sterling came out with a statement saying, "When I was 2, my father died from being gunned down to death. I made a promise to myself that I would never touch a gun in my lifetime. I would shoot with my right foot, so it has a deep meaning." That was from Raheem Sterling's Instagram post.
Troubled youth to 100 grand a week. The life of footy idiot Raheem Sterling. England failure steps off plane and insults fans showing off blinging house. Obscene Raheem. Manchester City star Raheem Sterling earns 200 grand a week but takes £80 EasyJet flight back from holiday. £44 million bargain loving Raheem Sterling's taste for Greggs. He loves pasties. Yeah. That was a headline. Imagine going to journalism school to write that. That must be soul-destroying.
After all this, he was still a major part of the World Cup squad, despite not scoring at the tournament at all. England finished 4th in the World Cup, but he was still a mainstay at Manchester City. As of recently, he is now having a season better than the last year, and is challenging Liverpool for the Premier League title, as capturing the closest title race in Premier League history. Also, they are aiming to complete the English triple this season as well. This season, he was racially abused by Chelsea fans and for his country against Montenegro. Montenegro fans would abuse Sterling, and then he would go on to score a hat-trick against them with an iconic sign where he would listen to the haters.
You know, I worked in Fleet Street almost all my life, and I don't see racist headlines. I see the same kind of stuff that I saw with Wayne Rooney, with Gaza, with David Beckham, and they were all white players. If you're an England superstar, the papers talk about you, and a lot of it is trivial nonsense. That's my argument.
I think that the media like to find little flaws, or in this case, I suppose it's a little bigger than normal, and extort for everything that it's worth. So, you know, like you've mentioned, the other players, they would do something wrong, and then the media would capitalise on it and, you know, try their best to extort, I suppose, with it. So yeah, I feel like they are focusing on it too much.
Yeah, I think they do, and they always set out to target one specific player and then try and ruin their career in every way possible, because they never really talk about two people at once, or, you know, more than one person. Because as I said, yeah, they just go and target one person and try to do everything in their power to try and stop them and keep them quiet about being positive about racism and everything.
The media tells stories that people want to listen to, so the more exaggerate the story, the more people are going to listen to it.
He is inspiring many others to tackle racism in the world of football, and he is doing a fantastic job of doing it. He is Raheem Sterling.
Interesting. We all know Raheem Sterling has a massive impact on football recently. But do you think the criticism he gets is justified over the other things he has done?
Well, the other things he's done is, like, he's been out with his mates sometimes, and, like, they've been, like, using, like, drugged up stuff, you know? It's that should be reported more than this tattoo incident. Okay, I understand about the tattoo now, right? Like, when his father, you know, he was 2 years old when he was gunned down in Jamaica. Like, why does he think that he should get a gun on his leg for that? Like, shouldn't there be, like, a memory for his father, do you think? Like, it's a bit controversial in my eyes, but it looks like it looks like at first he's, like, promoting gun crime, I would think. But for others, he just wants to get down early, he just wants to continue his football career. Others are saying, like, you know, he should have done this after his career's finished, which is probably like 36, 37 probably. So, you know, it's kind of wrong, but it is what it is. And, like, he's done more things in the past, which is, like, worse, I would say. Raheem Sterling's, like, not a bad person, but there's been other stuff.
Can I just ask? So how old is he?
He's 24 now.
Why didn't he get a tattoo when he was 18 over then?
Because, I don't know, he wasn't really thinking about it then. When you're like a football star, usually, when they get like tattoos when they're young and they're like big prospects for the future, they don't want that controversy gunned down on him like, well, no pun intended, gunned down on him like shit away. Because like if he has a tattoo and it's like that when he was like 18, he would never like, get picked for like, the England team and he would never go to like big clubs. He went to a big club and then he got the tattoo. So, yeah.
Okay. I just wondering.
And despite all that, he's the player of the year. So, you know, despite...
So they don't even care really?
Like, kind of.
They do care, but like...
Yeah.
He's still the best player, isn't he?
Yeah. Probably the best player right now in England. Well, that wraps it up for today's show. So, what have you learnt about fake news today, Meg?
I've learned that it's probably best to ignore websites and newspaper articles about fake news and just wait till there's evidence of the celebrity.
Yeah.
Because as we've learned, we've heard lots of different fake news stories, so we don't know which one to believe. Especially from the social media outlets, it's best to just get it from primary sources, I think.
Exactly. Let's not forget, whether you're Justin Bieber or Raheem Sterling, or anyone, you, the viewer, if anything is said about you online or anywhere, just come out and explain the situation. Unless, you know, it's private. You don't say a thing, you know. Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed that episode and make sure you follow our social medias down below.
Next week we'll be giving our reviews on conspiracy theories by Saffron Jones to see how she can find all the conspiracy theories to find out if they're fake or real. So, yeah.
And we will have Stefan Hall to talk about archery and podcasts. Until then, see you next week.
My mum been there for me throughout my life. My obviously daughter now, which is 2 going on 3, and these people to me mean everything to me. I don't want to be perceived as a money grabbing 20-year-old. I just want to be seen as the kid that loves to play football.